wanted to go to Tanzania a couple of years or so ago, but because of work and everything, I could not go. And I kept saying, I am going to go to Tanzania one of these days. And so this year I said, I'm going. So I started putting my money out so that I could go, and talking to various persons to say how it was when they went, because other people have gone twice. What did they do when they were there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So in doing so, when we left Nashville, it was a rush, 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 rush. Having church, then getting to the airport, going to check our bags. And all of that is part of on a trip to out of the country, okay? So that was exciting to me. It was exciting that I'm going to get to go out of the country for the second time in my life. First time was back in 1980. And so this was going to be my second time. And it's going to be a mission trip with my church, which is so exciting to me, so exciting.
The highlight of my trip was to see the little girls' faces light up when we passed out the beautiful little dresses that our sewing bees had made, none other than the First Baptist members. To see their faces of excitement and rejoice, that was really worth our while in making the dresses. I am blessed to have been a part of the mission team to have shared this wonderful experience.
I returned to Africa this year on a mission trip as part of the First Baptist team because the Lord presented the opportunity to me, and I wanted to do everything I could to take advantage of that. I never imagined that I would have such a great opportunity the second time around, but I did, and I am so grateful that I went. It was a tremendous experience, and it's really hard to put into words the joy and the blessings that you get from a mission trip like that. Some things you really just have to experience for yourself, but the greatest thing for me is that I think it's the generosity of the spirit and the warmth and the kindness of the Maasai people. When we arrive, initially when we arrive, we can barely get off the van before the Maasai come out and literally greet us as we step off the van. I don't care if it's 50 or 100 or 200, each one of them greet each of us individually. Before we even walk onto the church site, to the church ground. And from there, then we begin to have fellowship with them. And you can tell that they really appreciate us just being there to be with them. We aren't bringing gifts or money or food or anything like that. They just appreciate that we have traveled so far just to be with them. And their spirit and their kindness and their warmth is genuine, and that's something that you just feel in your spirit. So it was great. It was even better the second time around, as I said.
Probably one of the things that this trip was different than in the past trip is that we were able to go out into the village. Last year we did primarily all of our mission work right there at the church. But this year we had an opportunity to go out into the village and meet with some of the people of the area who were not able to come to the church. And to me, that was a very uplifting experience this year. First of all, to see that how they welcomed us showing up in their villages. I had in my mind before we went out, thinking about how people come to your door unannounced, and how we as Americans usually dread someone just showing up and wanted to come and talk and share the gospel. It was the opposite there. We felt very welcomed when we went into the villages, and to just see how the kids would come running once we approached the village, and how they would bring us seats to sit down and talk to them, and were very attentive to what we had to say. We had an opportunity to to minister to them. I was asked to actually pray for an elder of one village, and that was very humbling to me for them to ask me to pray for an elder of the village.
We've talked about going from membership to discipleship. In Tanzania, I had the opportunity to be a disciple. We had designated teams. I was part of one teaching team, and we had a planned agenda of how we were going to do things, what we were going to teach, and who we were going to teach it to. On day 2 of the trip in 2019, that changed. Very spontaneous, very fluid. Our teams changed, and we learned that the local church wanted us to go out into the community. Wow, what a novel idea. I'm reluctant to go out into the community in the USA, but here I am, all the way across the world, and I'm going out in the community with the benefit of the translator, talking about being part of the family of God. Needless to say, the ice was broken. I got a comfort level that I had no idea that I had. I still have some reservations if the translator was saying exactly what I said. But the ice has been broken. I actually had a chance to do it, and it was a tremendous blessing to me. I hope it was a blessing to those who were on the receiving end. Initially, I thought, we're going in a community that's not familiar with the Longido Church. Are they familiar with God? Are they familiar with Jesus? All of those questions were answered. All we had to do was be there. All we had to do was share. And they very willingly and very eagerly came to be part of the church.
We are really excited. We're excited about the encouragement, the prayers, and support that First Baptist Church Capitol Hill has given. Their finances from our church that we have used to help in terms of developing the building. And the pastor and the members there are so appreciative of them. We also discovered this year how expansive our ministry can be there, because not only did we minister to persons on that specific site, but we also had a chance to go into the villages and to touch people and to pray for people and to preach and to worship there. It truly demonstrated how important it is for us to not be confined to one geographical location, even as we're seeking to help build the building there, but also just to minister to people wherever we can find them. We went one place to the watering hole where they would bring their jugs to get water that they needed for themselves as well as for their livestock, and to watch them as they negotiated through that process. And then there were those who were willing to pause while they were trying to get water, which was a necessity for their lives, but they paused long enough for us to minister to them, to pray with them. And so it was just a tremendous blessing, a different kind of experience. This is my 4th time actually going to this particular area, and each time I feel more comfortable, I feel more blessed, and not only by the opportunity that we have to go there, but also the opportunity for them to minister to us as well. We have developed and we're developing a great relationship.
Help us, dear Lord, that we will always be faithful to you. Help us, dear Lord, that we may always know that you're in charge, that you are in control, that you are the master builder. Help us, dear Lord, to know that all of us who are around here are going to work real hard to build this church. And help us, dear Lord, to remember that it's not just so that we can have a building, but that we can give praise and glory and honor to you. That people will be able to see Jesus here, and that they may know Jesus Christ for the pardoning of their sin and for the Savior of their soul. Hallelujah, Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Lord. Hallelujah, Lord. Praise His holy name. In the name of Jesus, risen Christ. In the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus.
Dan karena Yesus.
In the precious name of Jesus.
Dan karena sedai juga
We
Yesus.
pray.
Kita mohon.
Amen.